My girlfriend said I need the apartment this weekend, don't ask questions, so I didn't ask. I just installed a security camera. I was making dinner when my girlfriend dropped it on me. We had been together about 18 months. She stayed at my place maybe 4 nights a week, had a drawer, kept stuff in the bathroom. The whole semi-living together thing without actually making it official. I need the apartment this weekend. I looked up from the cutting board. What, this weekend, Friday through Sunday, I need you to stay somewhere else. Why, just don't ask questions, it's important, the way she said it, that weird tone, not asking, telling, it's my apartment, I know, and I wouldn't ask if it wasn't really important, please just trust me on this. Trust, that word hung in the air between us. Where am I supposed to go, your brother's place or get a hotel? I'll split the cost with you. She never wanted to split costs, ever, always had some excuse why she couldn't chip in for dinner, for trips, for anything. Now she was offering to pay for a hotel, something felt deeply wrong. All right, I'll figure something out. She kissed me, thank you, you're amazing. After she left, I sat there thinking about it. She had been weird lately, taking phone calls in the other room, plans changing last minute. That thing where she would check her phone and smile at something, then quickly lock the screen when she noticed me looking. I knew, somewhere deep down, I knew what was probably happening. But asking me to leave my own place for an entire weekend, that was bold, that was insulting. I ordered a security camera online. One of those small ones that looks like a regular phone charger but records everything to the cloud. It would arrive in a couple days, perfect timing. I called my buddy and asked if I could crash on his couch for the weekend. He said sure without asking why. Good friend. The camera showed up Thursday. I set it up in the living room, positioned to catch the couch and front door. Tested it on my phone app, clear video. Audio worked great. Friday afternoon I packed a bag and made a show of leaving, kissed her goodbye. Told her to have a good weekend. She looked relieved. I got to my buddy's place and immediately pulled up the camera feed on my phone. For a few hours nothing happened. She ordered food, watched Netflix, regular stuff. I started feeling paranoid. Maybe I was overreacting, maybe she really did just need space for something innocent. Then the door opened. A guy walked in. Tall, early 30s maybe, wearing a full suit like he just left the office. She greeted him with a kiss that was definitely not friendly. I sat there on my buddy's couch watching my girlfriend kiss another man in my apartment. My apartment that I had just been kicked out of for the weekend. They talked for a bit. I couldn't make out all the words but caught enough. Something about finally having time together. Something about being sick of hotel rooms. He brought wine, she had lit candles, then they moved to my couch and started making out. I closed the app, I didn't need to see more but I left it recording. The next morning I opened the app again. They were in my kitchen making breakfast together, laughing, comfortable like they had done this before many times. That's when I saw it. His left hand, fourth finger, gold wedding band. Not just cheating on me, cheating with someone who was married or engaged. I took screenshots, lots of them, clear shots of his face, the ring, them together looking domestic in my kitchen. Then I started digging. I got a clear frame of his face and tried reverse image search, nothing direct, but his jacket had a logo on it, some finance company. I found their website and scrolled through the team page. There he was. Senior something or other, the bio said recently engaged. I found her through his tagged photos on social media, public Instagram, engagement announcement from a few months back. Big ring, lots of congratulations in the comments, pictures of them looking happy together planning their future. I sat there staring at her profile. She had no idea what was happening. She was planning her wedding, probably excited about her future. Completely clueless that her fiancé was spending weekends with my girlfriend in my apartment. I could have just broken up with my girlfriend and moved on. Let karma handle it eventually, but this woman deserved to know. If I was in her position, I would want someone to tell me. I downloaded the clearest clips from the footage. Him arriving, the kiss at the door, them having breakfast in my kitchen. I kept it appropriate but damning. I wrote a message, I'm sorry to be the one telling you this. I've been dating the woman in these videos for over a year. She asked me to leave my apartment this weekend without explaining why. I got suspicious and installed a camera. I thought you deserved to know what your fiancé is doing. The footage is time-stamped from this weekend. I'm ending my relationship. You should know the truth about yours. I sent it through Instagram direct message to her, then I waited. Sunday afternoon my phone started ringing, my girlfriend. I ignored it. She called again and again and again. I checked the camera feed. She was pacing my apartment, phone to her ear, looking panicked. He was there too, also on his phone, also freaking out. The voicemail started coming. Hey, where are you? Call me back. Then a few hours later, this isn't funny. I need to talk to you, please answer. By evening, you're being ridiculous. Pick up your phone right now. Notice how it shifted from worried to annoyed to demanding, interesting progression. The texts were the same. Started with please call me and ended with stop ignoring me, this is important. I didn't respond to any of it. Monday morning I went back to my apartment. She was gone but had left in a hurry. Some of her stuff was still there but her overnight bag was missing. Clothes from the drawer were gone. My place smelled like someone else's cologne. It made my skin crawl. This was my space and they had just used it like a cheap hotel. I boxed up everything she had left behind and put it all by the door. She showed up that evening. I had gotten the locks changed during my lunch break. Her key didn't work. She knocked, pounded really. Finally she called, I answered. My key isn't working. I changed the locks. What? Why would you do that? Your stuff is by the door, I'll bring it down. Wait, we need to talk about this. Nothing to talk about. There was a pause, then did you go through my phone? That's a total invasion of privacy. I didn't touch your phone, longer pause. Then how did you know? Security camera in my apartment that you asked to use, even longer pause. You recorded us, my apartment, I can put cameras anywhere I want, that's illegal. Actually, it's not my property, my camera, totally legal. Her voice got higher. You sent it to her, to his fiancé? I did. Do you have any idea what you've done? He's going to lose his job. People are going to find out. This is going to ruin everything, not my problem. Actions have consequences. Maybe don't have an affair in someone else's apartment. It wasn't like that. We weren't really together. It's complicated. It's really not complicated. You used my place to cheat with an engaged man. I found out. I told his fiancé. Pretty simple, actually. You had no right to do that. I had every right. You're both cheaters. She deserved to know. I hung up. I went downstairs with her boxes. She was standing outside with her sister. The sister went off immediately. You're disgusting. Recording people without telling them, that's so invasive. It's legal. My apartment. My girlfriend asked to use it. I had every right to see what was happening in my own home. My girlfriend was crying now. Can we please just talk for 5 minutes? No, you ruined everything. He broke up with me. His fiancé is telling everyone what happened. My life is over. Your life isn't over. Your affair is. Big difference. Why are you being like this? So cruel. I actually laughed. I couldn't help it. I'm being cruel? You asked me to leave my own apartment so you could sleep with someone else, in my bed, on my couch, in my kitchen, and I'm the cruel one? I was going to tell you eventually. I just needed time to figure things out. Time for what? To figure out which guy you wanted while keeping both of us on the hook. Her sister stepped closer. You could have just broken up with her quietly. You didn't need to involve his fiancé in this. She's not just anyone. She's someone who deserved to know the truth about the guy she was about to marry. That wasn't your choice to make. I had the information. I made the choice. Deal with it. I handed them the boxes and went back inside, locked the door, blocked both their numbers immediately. My phone buzzed with unknown numbers all night. I ignored every single one. But what I didn't know yet was that this was just the beginning, because his fiancé wasn't going to stay quiet. And neither was he. Update 1. Thank you to everyone who commented on my original post. A lot of you said I did the right thing. Some said I went too far. I appreciate all perspectives. Here's what happened since. About a week after I posted, his ex-fiancé found my email somehow. Her message was surprisingly calm. She thanked me for sending the video. She said she ended the engagement the same day. She said she was sorry I was going through this too and that we both deserved better. I wrote back and kept it simple. Told her I was sorry she had to find out that way but that she deserved the truth. She responded quickly. She said she was angry but managing. Then she told me something interesting. He was telling everyone that I had faked the videos somehow. That I was obsessed with my girlfriend and made it all up to break them apart. Of course he was spinning it that way. I told her I had the original files with full metadata and timestamps if she ever needed proof. But honestly I just wanted to move on. She said she understood and thanked me again. A few days after that conversation, my ex's best friend showed up at my building. Security called up to ask if I wanted to let her in. I said no. Apparently she made a scene in the lobby, yelling about how I was a psycho who secretly films people, how I violated their privacy. Security told her to leave or they would call the cops. She left. That night I got a long email from my ex, pages of it, half apology, half blame. She admitted to the affair. 6 months apparently. She knew he was engaged the whole time. They had been using my apartment because his fiancé had basically moved into his place and mine was safer for them to meet up. She said she was planning to break up with me soon but needed time to figure things out first. Then the email shifted. She said I had violated her trust by putting a camera in my own apartment. She said I had no right to share intimate videos without her consent. I didn't respond to any of it. Then came a legal threat, an email from someone claiming to be a lawyer, generic email address, sketchy letterhead that looked like it came from a template website, demanding that I immediately delete all footage and cease all contact and stop distributing private material. I forwarded it to my cousin, who is an actual attorney. She called me laughing. This is fake as hell. That letterhead is from a free template site. Real lawyers don't send demand letters from Gmail. They're trying to scare you. Should I be worried? Not at all. You recorded your own apartment. Totally legal. You sent it privately to one person who deserved to know. Not illegal. If real lawyers contact you, forward it to me, but this, just ignore it. A couple days later I got a call at work. Someone was at the front desk asking for me. I went down to the lobby. It was him. The guy from the videos. Security was already hovering nearby because he had apparently been aggressive when he first arrived. We need to talk. No, we don't. You destroyed my life. My engagement is over. My reputation is ruined. You destroyed your own life when you decided to have an affair. She told me you two were basically over, that you were barely together anymore. Classic excuse. We weren't barely together. We lived together most of the week. How were you supposed to know that? Maybe by asking more questions, or maybe by not sleeping with someone who was clearly in a relationship. This is your fault. You sent that video just to ruin me. I sent it to inform someone who had a right to know what her fiancé was doing. Your feelings weren't part of my calculation. I could sue you for this. Go ahead, you would lose. It's my apartment, my camera. Legally installed and operated. Talk to a real lawyer instead of sending fake demand letters from Gmail. His face went red. You think you're so smart, smarter than someone who had an affair in a stranger's apartment. Yeah, security moved closer. Sir, you need to leave now. He pointed at me. This isn't over. Actually, it is. Leave before security escorts you out. He left, but not before giving me a look like he wanted to take a swing at me. Security wrote up an incident report and gave me a copy. They told me they would ban him from the building if he came back. My cousin told me to keep the report. If he escalates, you have documentation. A few days later, my ex showed up at my gym. I was on a treadmill when she walked in and made a straight line toward me. We need to talk. No, I kept running. You can't avoid me forever. I can and will. I deserve closure. You deserve nothing. Leave. The gym staff noticed and came over. Ma'am, are you a member here? I just need to talk to him for 1 second. He clearly doesn't want to talk to you. I'm going to need you to leave. She turned on the waterworks immediately, full crying. He sent a private video to someone and destroyed my entire life. The staff member looked at me. I stopped the treadmill. She asked to use my apartment for a weekend and wouldn't say why. I got suspicious and installed a camera. Found out she was having an affair with an engaged guy in my place. I sent the video to his fiancée because she deserved to know. Now they're both angry that I exposed them. The staff member's face changed from concern to completely unimpressed. Ma'am, you need to leave immediately. This is harassment. You came to his gym and approached him when he's clearly trying to avoid you. Leave now or we're calling the police. She finally left, but not without shooting me a look of pure hatred. When I got home, there was a note taped to my door, her handwriting. You didn't have to destroy everything. You could have just broken up with me like a normal person. But no, you had to be cruel and vindictive and ruin my entire life. I hope you're happy with yourself. I tore it up and threw it away. The next day I got a text from an unknown number. It was his ex-fiancée. She said he was telling everyone that I was stalking him and that the videos were fake. Full damage control mode. I thanked her for the heads up. Told her I had the originals if anyone wanted actual proof. But honestly, I didn't care what he told people. Then she told me something that changed everything. She said she had started asking questions after the breakup. Turns out this wasn't the first time he had done something like this. There was another woman 2 years ago, another affair while he was in a serious relationship. His ex-fiancée had found that woman through mutual connections and talked to her. The pattern was identical, told her his relationship was ending, used someone else's space to meet up, made promises about a future together. Then disappeared when it got complicated. She asked if I wanted the other woman's contact information. Said maybe we should all compare notes. I thought about it. Part of me wanted to just move on, but another part wondered how many other people he had hurt, how many other women deserved to know they weren't alone. I told her yes, send me the information. What I didn't realize was that decision would lead to discovering something much worse than just a pattern of cheating. Update 2: things escalated fast after my last update. His ex-fiancée sent me contact information for the other woman he had cheated with 2 years ago. Her name was Sarah. I reached out and we agreed to meet for coffee. Sarah was cautious at first. She asked how I knew about her. I explained everything. The camera, the video. How his fiancée had contacted me afterward. Sarah relaxed after that. She told me her story. 3 years ago, she was dating someone seriously. Then she met him at a networking event. He was charming, started texting her constantly, told her he was single. They started seeing each other. He said he traveled a lot for work, which explained why they could only meet certain days. After a few months, she broke up with her boyfriend for him. That's when things got weird. He started asking to borrow money, small amounts at first, 200 here, 300 there, said his accounts were temporarily frozen due to a banking error. Then the amounts got bigger. $1,000, $2,000, he always had an excuse. Sarah gave him almost $15,000 over 6 months. Then one day she saw him at a restaurant with another woman. When Sarah confronted him, he ghosted her completely. Blocked her number, blocked her on social media, just disappeared. She never got the money back. When she tried to take legal action, she found out he had given her fake information. She couldn't even serve him papers. I sat there processing this. So he's not just a cheater, he's a con artist. Sarah nodded. I felt so stupid. But I was in love and he was convincing. I told Sarah about my footage, about how his ex-fiancée had documentation of his lies, about how there might be other women. Sarah leaned forward. If there are multiple victims with documentation, that changes things. That's a pattern. That could be fraud. When I got home, I called his ex-fiancée and told her everything. She went quiet for a long time, then she said something that made my blood run cold. I gave him money too. Not as much as Sarah, but probably $8,000 over the time we were together. He said it was for wedding planning. I was going to add it all to our shared expenses after the wedding. Did you ever see receipts? No, he said he was handling it to surprise me. The 3 of us got on a call that night. We started comparing notes. By the end of the week, we had found 2 more women. Both had given him money. Both had been told elaborate stories. That's when we decided to go to the police together, not separately with individual complaints, but as a group with documented evidence of a pattern. We filed a report, brought all our evidence, bank statements, text messages, my video footage. The detective we spoke with took it seriously. With multiple victims and clear documentation, this moved from civil to potentially criminal. They opened an investigation. 2 weeks later, the detective called. They had brought him in for questioning. He lawyered up immediately, but they had enough evidence to move forward. Then my building manager called. My ex had been trying to get into the building all weekend. She told security she still lived there. They denied access since she wasn't on the lease and I had banned her. She got aggressive, demanded they let her in. The manager asked if she had any property still inside. I told him no, I had given her everything. Then we have it documented, he said. If she comes back, we're calling the police for trespassing. That same day, I got an email from her mother at my work address. Long email about how disappointed she was in me, how I had humiliated her daughter. The email also said I was probably controlling and drove her daughter to find comfort elsewhere. I didn't respond. I forwarded it to my cousin. A few days later, I came home from work to find my apartment door slightly open, not forced, just ajar. I called building security immediately. They sent someone up with me. Nothing was obviously missing, but things were wrong. Drawers opened, closet disturbed, papers on my desk shuffled. Someone had been in here looking for something. Security checked the access logs. My ex had tailgated another resident into the building that afternoon. Cameras caught it. I called the police. They came and took statements. I filed a report for breaking and entering. The next week, I went to court to file for a restraining order. She showed up with her mother and that fake lawyer from the email. He actually tried to present himself as her attorney. The judge asked for his bar number. He didn't have one. The judge was not amused. I presented everything. The original videos, the note on my door, the gym incident, security footage of her tailgating, the police report for the break-in. Her fake lawyer tried to argue I had provoked retaliation. The judge cut him off. Ma'am, these recordings show you engaged in an affair in the plaintiff's private residence which you accessed under false pretenses. The plaintiff has documented multiple attempts at unwanted contact. There's evidence of trespassing and breaking and entering. I'm granting a temporary restraining order for 1 year. She started crying. Her mother started yelling at the judge. Bailiffs escorted them both out. That night, his ex-fiancé messaged me. He showed up at my apartment last night with flowers, tried to apologize. I told him I would get a restraining order if he didn't leave. I told her I got my own restraining order that day. She replied, "These people are insane, please be careful." The next few weeks were quiet, no contact from my ex or her family. Then about a month after everything started, a package showed up at my work, no return address. Just a flash drive with a note that said, "Thought you'd want this." I took it home and plugged it into an old laptop. It was a video file. Security camera footage from inside a coffee shop. My ex and him having what looked like a screaming match. Her, "You said you were going to leave her for me." Him, "I never said that. You assumed. You heard what you wanted to hear." Her, "I let you use my boyfriend's apartment. I risked everything for you." Him, "That was your idea. You offered. I never asked for that." Her, "You told me you loved me." Him, "I told you a lot of things. Doesn't mean I meant all of them." She threw her coffee at him and walked out. I have no idea who sent it. Maybe someone who knew them both. Maybe just some random person who thought I deserved to see them falling apart. It didn't matter. It was satisfying watching them turn on each other after everything they put everyone through. But the best part came 2 days later. The detective called. They had enough evidence to file charges, multiple counts of fraud. The total amount from all 5 victims was over $50,000. He was arrested. Final update: it's been about 3 months since that weekend when I installed the camera. Thought I would give one final update. The restraining order against my ex got extended to a full year. She violated it once by having her sister text me. I reported it immediately. She got arrested, spent a night in jail, and now she's on probation. Haven't heard anything since. His situation kept getting worse. The criminal case moved forward. With 5 victims willing to testify and clear documentation, his public defender advised him to take a plea deal. He refused at first. Then 2 more women came forward after seeing news coverage. 7 victims total. Over $70,000. The prosecutor added more charges. He took the plea deal, 3 years in prison, restitution to all victims. His ex-fiancée sent me a message after the sentencing. She said it felt surreal watching him get led away in handcuffs. She said she was glad it was over. She said she had started dating someone new. A guy her brother works with who was normal and didn't keep secret girlfriends or steal money. I was happy for her. The other women in our group set up a support system. We still check in occasionally. Sarah said she felt less stupid knowing she wasn't the only one. As for me, I replaced my couch, couldn't sit on it anymore without thinking about them. Got a completely different style and color, changed other stuff too. New sheets, new bedding, rearranged furniture, made the place feel like mine again. Had the locks rekeyed a second time just to be cautious. Added another security camera, this one visible right by the door as a deterrent. I lost some mutual friends through this. People who thought I went too far, their loss. Anyone who thinks exposing fraud and cheating is worse than actually committing fraud and cheating isn't someone I need around. But most people understood. My brother said he was proud of me for not being a doormat. I still don't know who sent the coffee shop footage. I asked his ex-fiancée if it was her brother. She said no but laughed and said whoever did it had perfect timing. I'm doing all right now, started dating again slowly, being way more careful about red flags. Do I have trust issues? Yeah, definitely, working on those in therapy. But I learned something important. When your gut tells you something is wrong, listen to it. When someone asks you to leave your own apartment for a weekend and won't explain why, that's not normal, that's suspicious. And being suspicious doesn't make you controlling. That security camera was the best purchase I ever made, not because it caught them, though it did, but because it gave me undeniable proof. No gaslighting. No you're imagining things, just clear evidence with timestamps. Some people still say I went too far by sending that video to his fiancée, that I should have just broken up quietly. Maybe it was vindictive, I don't really care anymore. She deserved to know what kind of person she was planning to marry. And it turns out she wasn't the only one who needed to know. Those other women deserved answers too. The revenge wasn't elaborate, no complex scheme, no public humiliation campaign. I just documented what they were doing and shared it with people who had a right to know. Everything that happened after came from their own choices and actions. They wanted to have their affair in secret, keep everyone in the dark, have everything both ways without consequences. I just turned on the lights, and that was all it took for everything to fall apart. My ex is still on probation. Last I heard, she moved back in with her parents. Her social media is private now. As for him, he's serving his sentence, won't be eligible for parole for at least 2 years. When he gets out, he'll have restitution payments following him probably for the rest of his life. I don't feel bad about any of it. These weren't good people making one mistake. These were people who systematically hurt others for their own benefit. The woman I'm seeing now is different. She's steady, honest. Doesn't play games. We met through mutual friends about 6 weeks ago, taking things very slow. She knows the whole story and thinks what I did was justified. My apartment feels like home again. The smell of his cologne is long gone. The feeling of violation has faded. It's just my space now, clean and mine and free of people who use others. Looking back, that weekend changed everything. Not just my relationship status, but how I see people. How I handle situations, how I trust my instincts. I'm glad I installed that camera. I'm glad I sent that video. I'm glad I helped those other women come forward. Would I do it all again the same way? Absolutely. They wanted freedom to do whatever they wanted without consequences. I gave them consequences. And apparently that's all it takes to make people show you exactly who they really are. The lights are still on. And I'm doing just fine in them.